Welcome to the Instagram stories for Wednesday, November 11th. You know, sometimes doing this show does get tiring, but what makes it easier is when I have audio clips that I can insert, which I feel like give me a little bit of a break. Today, head of Instagram Adam Mosseri went on his Instagram feed to talk about a new feature called Take a Break, which he explains in depth, along with explaining their testing process. Here's the clip.
This week, I want to talk about a new feature that we're starting to test on Instagram. But before I go into what that feature is, why do we test things in the first place? Well, what we do here, those of us who work at Instagram, is always try to make the app just a little bit better for everyone who uses it. And one of the major ways we do that is we test new ideas with a small percentage of people to see how those new features work. We'll launch them to, let's say, 1 or 2% of people, and we'll see, does it work as intended? Are people finding the product valuable? Is it breaking things? And we'll learn, we'll take feedback, and we'll iterate. And then over time, we'll either wind the project down if it doesn't work, or we'll ship it to everyone. And what we're starting to test this week on Instagram is one that I'm actually personally very excited about. It's called Take a Break. And it does what you think it does. If you opt in, it encourages you to take a break from Instagram after you spend a certain amount of time on the app, 10, 20, 30 minutes. We've worked with third-party experts and gotten advice on what tips they should be and how to frame taking a break. And you're gonna see this if you're in the test over the coming days. So if you see it, I encourage you to check it out, see if you like it, let us know. If you don't see it, you will hopefully get it in a month or two once we get to a place where we're comfortable enough launching it to everybody on Instagram. So keep an eye out. This, by the way, is part of a broader effort to try and give people more control over their experience of Instagram. Ultimately, you know what's best for you when it comes to how you use the app. And we want to make sure we provide tools for you to shape Instagram into what works for you. So you'll see more ideas like this coming in the future too. Hopefully you like it. Peace.
Okay, a couple things I want to mention about that. First, I think this is a great idea. Clearly, Facebook and Instagram have been under a lot of heat ever since the Facebook files were released by the Wall Street Journal, with all the reporting showing how little they were actually caring about the mental health of young people using the app. So I think this is a good stride in the right direction. A little bit more based on the screenshot of what the Take a Break screen would look like. It says, time for a break. You've set reminders for every 10 minutes. Take a moment to reset by closing Instagram. Then it has some instructions. Take a few deep breaths, write down what you're thinking, listen to your favorite song, do something on your to-do list. I think those are all great suggestions. One thing I think would help this feature to be even better is if it worked not based on time, but rather based on how many times you open the app. Because if you're like me, I open the app many, many times per day, probably a lot more than I need to, but that's because I've turned off notifications. Anyway, a reminder based on how many times you open the app would probably also be incredibly helpful. In other news, the team at Social Insider recently analyzed over 137,000 Facebook and Instagram ad campaigns to find out where you can get the most bang for your ad bucks. Trust me, you're going to want to know the answer to this. Here are their key findings. First, Facebook feed placement is the best for driving ad traffic. Instagram story ads see the highest click-through rate, and brands have invested 8.69% more in Instagram ads in 2021 compared to 2020. I'll leave a link to the full report if you want to read that, but definitely take a look. I think you're going to find this information valuable if you spend money on ads. Okay, that's it for today's show. Come back tomorrow. On Fridays, we do Feature Friday, which is where we talk about a feature of the Instagram app that you may have forgotten about or never knew existed. And if you enjoy this show and you want to read more about the stories I talked about, check out the show notes, which you can find on your favorite podcast app. And of course, hit me up at Daniel Hill Media if you have a question, you'd like to guest host the show for the day. That would be super great. Give me a day off. Or you would like to be a guest on the Instagram Stories podcast. Thanks for listening.
I'm not yet a member of the Instagram team, but my podcast covers many Instagram themes. But the name, image, logos are trademarks at Instagram and the LCC in the USA and every territory. Everything I publish independently until Zuck returns my DMs and starts to pay my salary. Not sponsored or endorsed, no lies, no fallacies. I use their logo with permission, not malicious or callously. No trademark violation, filling all criteria. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Daniel Hill Media.